Welcome to the Rollup Network. I'm your host, Tommy Guns. We got a special episode for you today. First, we're going to get into the breakdown of the battles we had last week. That is Ghost in Vegas, Perry Sir Boogie, as well as Zoe and Isaiah. Our first intergender battle, which is very dope. I was very entertained by it. Greatly appreciated on both sides. It was a dope battle. Sir Boogie and Perry. Main reason I put this together is because we had it was a tag team match. Very first battle night of season 3. And Perry and Sir Boogie were on opposite teams. But I couldn't get a clear sense of who was winning, I guess I'll say. If I was to count the rounds, if you go back to that battle, go back to the results, I believe, I'm actually not sure who got it, because it's 5 rounds, but they faced each other 3 of those rounds. So after seeing that, I'm like, I want to see them one-on-one. So that's why I put that one together. And of course, you know about Ghost in Vegas. That just had to happen. Okay. Congratulations to Ghost. We already know the results, but we are still going to break it down because you know how we do. Also, along with these breakdowns of the results, we're going to be getting into what is going to be a new playlist for you guys. This is going to be Stride Breakdowns. What this is going to be is me giving my own perception of Stride and hoping that it's digestible and educational for you to move people forward. Mainly for people that aren't of the Mecca, that aren't in Columbus, and they want to know, like, how is this thing done? What am I looking at? Hopefully the Stride breakdowns will give you everything you need before we meet you at the Mecca. Also, these Stride breakdowns this first Stride breakdown that I'm going to give today is going to help break down why the SBA works the way the SBA works. And we're also going to break down future things that we're going to be working on. Stride is a very broad spectrum of things. And nobody's been able to break these things down. Maybe it's not that they haven't been able to. Maybe it's because they don't know the words. Maybe it's because they don't have the cameras or don't know how to use YouTube. YouTube has been around for over a decade. Stride has been around for approximately like 50 years. And over the existence of YouTube and Stride, I haven't seen anyone do this. The fact that we are doing everything we can here on the Rollup Network and SBA to cater to the culture of Stride, I feel like this is the perfect place to do it. And if you have anything to add, anything you want to contribute to, anything you want to bring to the table, I believe that this is the platform. I don't know of any other Stride-based platforms. So with that being said, let's just get into these battles first. All right, I gave you a mouthful of an introduction. First on the docket, we got Zoe versus Isaiah. This battle was it was not on the schedule, meaning that it wasn't planned via social media. This was always a plan to have this battle for me, period. And I wanted to have this on a title matchup night just because I wanted to bring out something new on a title night just to make it a little more interesting. So they broke a new wave with this one. Intergender battles, dope. Results. Round 1, Isaiah. Round 2, also Isaiah. And round 3, I gave to Zoe. This was a very, very, very close battle, but it is 2-1 Isaiah. It's honestly could have went either way. It could have went either way. Now, let me get more breakdown. Round one was pretty straightforward. Isaiah had a clean round. Clean, full round. Isaiah's somebody who's honed in on fundamentals, and he's going to make sure he's on the one. He's going to make sure he's traditionally on 6 wheels, landing his stride. Now, on feature with Zoe, there was a break. Isaiah was on point, and he was using a little more maneuverability than I could tell that Zoe was using. So from the feature side, Isaiah was doing very well in comparison to Zoe. Round one, Isaiah. Round two came down to performance. Zoe had a double on point. She did a little walkout, landed on the same foot twice. Same at the top of the round, same part of the round, Isaiah's on feature. He has a travel. What he does is he basically switches feet a little too early at a certain point. Now, with both of them having just one single deduction, a double's a single, a travel's a single deduction. They were both clean when Isaiah was on point. Clean on point, so it's clean as a feature. So it came down to performance again. Performance-wise, I liked that Zoe added more feeling. She added more groove, more dance, which actually resulted in her walking it out. That part of the feeling is a deduction, goes against the rules. On the other side, again, when I look at Isaiah from a feature standpoint, he's not struggling. He's not struggling like Zoe is struggling when he's on point. So this is why I gave the second round. It was a tie, but I gave the second round to Isaiah because fundamentally, he was not struggling with his fundamentals as Zoe was per the performance. Last round, they both had perfect rounds. This I gave to Zoe, a little cleaner, still has performance. So not only is she clean, but she's styling. I did give it to Isaiah because he's clean without the style, okay, per the comparison. Congratulations, Isaiah. Congratulations to both of you. Both of your first times in the ring. Dope performance. I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see y'all again. All right. Battle number 2. Perry versus Sir Boogie. I'm going to make this one pretty clear and pretty quick. Sir Boogie had a perfect battle. Similar to how Musa had a perfect battle, I had no deductions for Sir Boogie. If you got some, let me know. Let me know the rounds. Put timestamps by them. I love to see them. Other side of the battle, Perry, deductions. First round, on point, he doubles twice. He sprawls on feature. Sir Boogie has a way of, he's not wiggling. He's like consistently moving. He has a lot of foot work, a lot of foot movement. So you don't know what his next move is going to be or how he's going to perform it necessarily. So I think this is what resulted in that sprawl. Round 2, 3 doubles on point by Perry. If I'm not mistaken, one of these doubles, basically he did a triple double, and the way he did it was he hit the first stride, he reversed, and then he hit the same, he doubled in reverse, turns around, and it actually looks like he's on the same foot he's supposed to be on. So I had to watch this a couple times like, man, did he double? What did he do? Because In the middle of it, it's like, I don't know what you did. But at the end of it, it's like, oh, he's clean. But I can't just say he's clean because he ended right. It's the journey. So in the journey of getting out clean, he did what I call a triple double. He doubled 3 times. Well, I'm sorry. He doubled twice. I call it a triple double because you hit 3 strides, which is 2 doubles. I just call it a triple double. Point is, if you double twice, you're back on the foot you were supposed to be on. So it's always going to look like you did it right. So I have to put a magnifying glass to that. Last round, reason I'm not talking about Sir Boogie is because all of his rounds were fundamentally clean. Last round, 3 doubles on Perry, another sprawl on Feature. Unanimously, Sir Boogie. Congratulations, brother. When I see a clean, fundamental battle from somebody, it makes me want to put the gas on their next opponent. And by gas, it's like I want to put them against the person that is going to make deductions happen based on their last battle. Be ready for a challenge, brother. Congratulations, Sir Boogie. And the big kahuna. Ghost versus Vegas. Fire battle. Fire battle. Round 1 goes to Ghost. If you were there, you already heard this, but I do have to be honest. This was not a 3-0 like I had originally anticipated or originally viewed at the Mecca when I gave this deliberation. But it is still a 2-1 Ghost. First round, Ghost doubles on point. Basically, he tries to hit that strong stop and go on him. Results in a double. Vegas looks bad. Looks bad. But I can't say him looking bad is a result of him. Fundamentally, Ghost had to double to make him look bad. So that won't be counted against him. This is now, same top of the round. Double also got a break on Vegas. A break is 3 points. A double is 1 point. Sprawls are 1 point. Fouls, you know. Now, that's 3 points at the top of the round. It's like, yeah, he got the top. At the bottom of the round, Vegas doubles and Ghost sprawls. So that's a 1-1. 1-1 and Ghost broke him at the top of the round. I give it to Ghost. Second round, I got this clean for Ghost. If you see any deductions, let me know. Vegas, I got Vegas for a travel. He's struggling to keep up at a certain point, and he's doing what he can to put one foot in front of the other at a certain point. So I marked that as a travel. And there was a foul, a time foul. I gave the instructions on how the intermission goes in between rounds. I know I did this because somebody in the comments of the battle, shout out to Malik, says he got a foul for going over the 15 seconds. That's how I know, because personally, I can't say I know who Malik is, but he's a heavy supporter and he knows all about this support. And I can't wait to see your face, brother, because I see you everywhere, but I don't see you. Now, that's the second round. Ghost is clean. Travel, foul, Vegas. Goes to Ghost. Lastly, I give the last round to Vegas. Vegas was clean on Feature. He cleaned all the way up, no mistakes. That shit wasn't working the third round. But he had a double. Doubled on point. Ghost doubled on Feature. Very interesting. Also doubled on point. And this same double that he had on point was the same double he did in the first round, trying his hardest to hit that stop and go. He's fundamentally worked on his stop and go. If you can nail that, you got it. JoJo has his own version of a stop and go. Fundamentally get with it or get lost. Congratulations, Ghost. Fire battle. Whew. Stay tuned for the details on when Ghost battles next, who Ghost battles next, and the next battle card release. Until then, make sure you roll up. But after this, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to get into the stride breakdown and also why the SBA is ran the way it's ran. Roll up. So let's talk about stride. Let's talk about stride. The conversation of stride is going to give understanding to why the SBA is the way it is, and kind of the purpose of Rollup. So I really hope you guys enjoy this part, and I really want feedback on this stride breakdown. Let me know what you like about it. As always, like and subscribe. So here it goes. We're going to start with the essence of stride, what I like to call the essence of stride, where stride begins on the floor. There's two sides to stride. There is what I like to call the fundamental and what I like to call the feeling. The fundamental are the instructions of stride. The feeling is what you get from stride. SBA is all about fundamentals. The roll-up focuses on feeling. Now, SBA focuses on stride, obviously. The roll-up focuses on other things beyond stride, but we're just talking about the mecca of stride for this particular thing. Focus on the feeling. The mecca of stride is not a rule-based piece of footage. It's footage. It's what you see. It's raw, it's just raw stride. So let's just get into it. All right. So the fundamentals are how you step. The fundamentals are, when I think of fundamentals, I think of the competitive side of stride. How can one person call themselves better than another person if there is nothing fundamental to base it upon? There are things that look good. There are things that are fun and entertaining. But to be able to measure these things, you need something of foundation, not a feeling. Okay? So that's why it takes both parts. If you told someone what stride was, putting your foot, one foot in front of the other, the one in the 3 count, it may not resonate because it's just fundamentals you're talking about. Now, if you show somebody, or if somebody's at the Mecca and they see striding, now that's a way of getting the feeling. Okay. The fundamentals are how you do it. The feeling is when you do it. So the SBA is ran off of fundamentals because that's how sports are ran. Basketball is a fundamental game. All games are fundamental. So I had to base it off of fundamentals. And not fundamentals. Fundamentals never die. But sports never die either. There are 2 sports on skates that I know of, roller skates in particular. We're not talking about hockey. We're not talking about that. We're talking about straight skating. Roller derby. Roller derby has existed since the 70s, per my knowledge, per my check on studying and all of that. Since the 70s, still going on today. The reason I'm going the sports route with this is because there's funding for sports, and sports never die. So if I was trying to profit as well as get my people to profit, I would go the sports route. And sports never die. So if they're profiting, they would never stop profiting. And not only will the players continue to profit, but everybody involved would be profiting continuously. This sport was not made for people to necessarily feel good. The sport was made for people to be entertained by what we can do, fundamentally. Now, if you look at, how can I say this? If you look at the NBA versus the Harlem Globetrotters or And One, there's no there's no shoe you can buy from, there's no Harlem Globetrotters shoe. There are people in the NBA that have shoes, and there's plenty of them. That means that not only is he making money, but he's made himself so big that he can make a product that other people will buy as well. Not only just watching him play basketball, but we'll buy your shoe now. There are skaters in the world who have their own skate. So I'm trying to make a sport where people can actually have their own skate with their name on it. I'm going to have my own skate, regardless of anything. I'm going to have my own skate branded for people to get, to buy and purchase based on who I am. And I can only do that with the building of something. LeBron James, playing the fundamental sport that he plays, has been able to transcend and become the greatest to people through a sport that is generating money, has sponsorship, and is not going to die. I'm making something that is not going to die based on fundamentals, because fundamentals are eternal. Not only that, but in order to have a game or a sport, there has to be rules. I don't know a sport or a game without rules. Like, rules are literally what mold the sport. I mean, in basketball, you have to dribble. That's a rule. To win, you have to score points. So it's like it's molded by its rules. Tag is molded by its rules, not its advantages. Nobody says, the only person that doesn't want to play tag is the slow kid. It's not the rules. He just can't keep up. So also, let's just go back to like LeBron James, even the person that plays tag, because there is professional tag. Athleticism, training is something that is very much so involved in becoming an elite, the greatest. A lot of training. I wanted to make a sport where not only people knew how to do it, it has a foundation that people can understand, and you're going to have to train. You're going to have to watch tapes. You're going to have to study to a point where you can be that guy. So far, this has been manifesting itself. And this is why I praise Ghost. Ghost will tell you he watches tapes. He will tell you he's working on things. He will tell you all of these things. And it is no wonder why he's the champ today. There are a lot of people in this realm that feel as though they know it all already. And the scariest thing is to be a know-it-all, because it means there's no room for improvement. So I'm going on a spiel about the SBA. This is all based on the fundamental. I can't wait to get to the feeling, because the feeling is almost the thing that you're going for, but you can't base it on the feeling. Now let me transition into the feeling. When you watch fundamental sports, it's not all feeling, it's all fundamental. And based on the fundamental, you get the feeling. Now, example, a slam dunk. A slam dunk gives you that feeling. If you watch an and one mixtape, it's more feeling than it is fundamental. They're breaking the rules, and it's like, whoa, this is crazy. Harlem Globetrotters, it's amazing. But it's more of an entertainment pitch and a show than it is something that somebody can win and can grow and evolve and live on forever. Not saying that it can't live on forever, but it doesn't have the stage that a sport does. Now, it does deserve its stage, and that's what I'm getting to. That's exactly what I'm getting to. Because like I said, the SBA is about the fundamental, making a sport that will never die. And now we're going to go into the feeling, okay? The Mecca of Stride. The Mecca of Stride is, we're focusing on the feeling. We're not focused on the fundamentals. There are no rules at the Mecca of Stride. But before I get into that next point, let's just talk about the feeling. The feeling is what we all should be going for. Not for the SBA standpoint, but for stride standpoint. When it comes to hearing a song, as a strider, you hear a song, you hear a series of songs, you get a feeling that nobody can take from you. You do something that people love to see, and there are no rules for it. And it's beautiful. I love the feeling of stride. I love it. What is the feeling? The feeling is the thing that you get from staying on the 1 and the 3. It gives you that feeling. When you hear that song, you have to be able to do it to achieve the feeling, though. Do the fundamental enough, and you will start to feel it. Now let's break down this feeling. This feeling, the feeling of stride. The feeling of stride. It is something that connects us. We are connected through the feeling of stride. What do I mean by that? The fact that somebody gets behind somebody at the Mecca of stride is based on you feeling that person. Somebody who doesn't even skate and sits down and watches striders stride, they feel it. You don't have to be a strider to get the feeling. But you do have to have the fundamental to express the feeling. If you don't stride and you try to describe stride, you can only talk about the fundamentals. You can only talk about what you saw. You can't describe what you felt. The feeling is the essence of what we're tapping into as striders. That's why we all have our own individual strides. Let's take me for an example. the music is a very big part of the feeling as well. I love all music. So you'll see me striding to any and everything. And what that does is it molds the feeling that I express. So it's not going to look the same if you see me striding to house, G-Funk, James Brown, Parliament, all of these JBs, all of these different sounds are going to have me striding differently. And then you see me with my High Roller brothers, and then it just brings out a whole other feeling. No rules. So let's keep going down this road of feeling. The feeling is something that connects us all. The feeling is something that we express once we hone in on the stride. The feeling is something that you don't even need skates to have. You don't need skates to possess the feeling. You need skates to perform the feeling, but not to possess the feeling. What does that mean? That means when you're riding in your car and a song comes on and you like, man, I would fuck this song up. You are literally obtaining the feeling within your heart. And you are driving and striding at the same time. Hitting every move. At least I do. So that's how connected we are through the feeling. The fundamental doesn't connect us. The feeling does. Back to the SBA. The purpose of the SBA is to get our expression out nationally. Basketball is national. Teams, all of these different things. We've been able to get people to say, I want to do that. I want to battle. And they're not even here. And I believe these people are not only watching SBA, I believe these people see the Mecca of Stride as well. I believe they see footage of Stride, period, based on my page. So it's about getting it out to the world. That is the mission of the SBA and the Rollup, the Mecca of Stride in particular. So, what are we going to do? What we've been doing, for one. The SBA is the fundamentals. The Mecca of Stride is the feeling. So we're going to put a magnifying glass on the feeling. Okay, there's breakdowns to the feeling and the fundamental. The fundamental is the competitive. You got to be able to do this to even compete, right? So fundamental, competition, that sort of thing. All scalable, all logic. Feeling, all expression. No rules. Let's put a magnifying glass to this. So I've already been working on coming up with different challenges. Not different contests. I'm not even gonna go down that road, but I just don't think it's necessary. It's very subjective, and I feel like that can be very biased. On the SBA side of things, I've also thought about a no rules people's choice belt, is what I was gonna call it. So people's choice battles, let's just say that. So people's choice battles by a show of hands. What do you think about this guy? What do you think about that guy? So that's an idea that I have. I have so many ideas that I can only express the ones that people are willing to express. So I'm all ears, is what I'm saying, because the ideas already crossed my mind in so many different ways. I have so many different games that I've But let's just talk about the ones that I'm going to be implementing. This is stride breakdowns. There's going to be more of these coming. This was just about the fundamental and the feeling. And I got other things to break down too. So let me just give you some examples. The purpose of following somebody. Is the purpose to break somebody off, or what is the purpose? To skate with them? What am I supposed to be doing? From the outside looking in, I've got an answer for you. Also, what should you be doing? What are the understandings of following somebody? Why am I even following somebody? So I have breakdowns for things like this, and I'm going to be making stride breakdown videos, breaking them down and giving my own perspective to them. This is the Rollup perspective. Now, stride challenges. I've been working on stride challenges with a number of striders, so I'm going to continue to put my best foot forward and communicate these things. I'm hoping that people will come to me and with their ideas. I don't know who else with a network platform is going to be willing to just express stride ideas. This is why I'm saying I'm all ears. I'm all ears because who else is filming us consistently? Who else is made a league? Made a whole series of episodes. I have to look in my computer to see how many Mecca of Stride episodes I've made, how many battles I've cultivated and coordinated. I'm all ears. But we're going to start with these stride challenges. I'm not going to give any details right now. I'm going to let y'all see it at the next episode of the Mecca of Stride. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, keep watching the videos, keep enjoying yourself, keep the feeling, but don't forget about the fundamentals. The fundamentals are so important. You know why? I glorify the feeling, right? But the fundamentals are so important because they are potential. Your potential can only go as high as your fundamentals. If you don't know how to skate, you don't know how to stride. Skating is a fundamental of stride. I mean, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole, but that right there should speak for itself. The dumbest people don't make the most money. The weakest striders are not the top tier performers. They do cool things, but fundamentally, they're probably lacking. And the SBA is to figure out what you're lacking, striders. That's why Sir Boogie is going to get he's going up on the ladder, because I don't think he's a perfect battler. I think he had a perfect battle. There are no bests. This is just sharpening the saw. Everybody's just sharpening their saw. Ghost is the champion now, but I guarantee he won't be the champion forever. That's what this is about. It's not about having a one-all be-all champion. It's about seeing who has the fundamentals to knock him down. That's where I'm at right now. Who's going to knock down Ghost? That's a good question. It's all fundamentals. But make sure you keep the feeling. Roll up.